Okay, so if you're a houseplant person, I'm willing to bet you've seen this before. You know, that weird white cottony stuff that just shows up, clinging for dear life to the stems and leaves of your favorite plant?
At first glance, you might think, oh, it's a little piece of cotton, no big deal. But nope, that's not lint. That, my friend, is the first warning sign of an invasion by one of the absolute most persistent and frustrating pests in the entire plant world.
And trust me, if you let it go, it can spiral out of control fast. But hey, don't panic. The good news is, this is a fight you can totally win. You just need a solid plan. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's build that battle plan together.
All right, first things first, you got to know your enemy. Seriously, understanding what we're dealing with here is the critical first step to winning this war.
So what exactly is a mealybug? Well, it's this tiny, soft-bodied little insect that basically just sucks the life out of your plants. And that signature white fuzz, that's not just for looks. It's actually a protective waxy armor. They love plants with lots of little nooks and crannies to hide in, like succulents, orchids, and Hoyas. And since our homes are pretty much the perfect warm, stable environment for them, they can be a problem all year long.
Catching these guys early is everything. Obviously, you're looking for those white, cottony clumps, especially tucked into little crevices, like where the leaf joins the stem. You might even see a few of the bugs themselves crawling around, but they're super slow. Another huge clue, a sticky, shiny film on the leaves. That's called honeydew, and that often leads to this gross black mold growing right on top of it. Oh, and if you see ants marching on your plant, that is a massive red flag, and we'll circle back to why in just a sec.
Okay, so why is this tiny little bug such a massive headache? Let's really dig into the damage they do, because it is way more than just making your plant look a little messy.
It's really this nasty three-step cycle. First, you've got the sap-sucking. They literally have these little needle-like mouths they use to pierce the plant and just drink up all its nutrients and energy. Then comes part two, the honeydew. All that sap they're drinking, well, the excess sugar comes out as that sticky stuff, which gets all over the leaves and can even stop the plant from getting sunlight. And that leads right into stage three, the mold and the ants. The mold loves growing on that sticky honeydew, and the ants, well, the ants show up to the party for a very good reason.
And this is where it gets kind of wild. Ants and mealybugs have this deal. It's like a partnership. The ants basically act as bodyguards for the mealybugs, protecting them from anything that might want to eat them. And in return, they get to feast on that sweet, sugary honeydew. So yeah, if you've got ants, you're not just fighting the pests, you're fighting their security team too.
Ever feel like you're fighting a losing battle with these things? Well, you're not crazy. They're built to survive. Their waxy armor, totally waterproof, so your sprays just bead up and roll right off. They are experts at hiding. I mean, everywhere. Under pot rims, deep in the soil, you name it. And their reproduction rate is just insane. A single female can lay up to 600 eggs. Then, when those eggs hatch, you get these tiny little crawlers that can easily move to your other plants and start the nightmare all over again.
Okay, enough about how bad they are. We get it, they're tough. Now for the good part, how to get rid of them. Let's get into the actual battle plan to reclaim your plants. So you've basically got two main routes you can go down. There's the organic approach, using stuff you might already have, like alcohol and soap, and then there's the chemical approach, which is more for those really stubborn, I'm at my wit's end infestations. The organic way is definitely safer, especially indoors, but you gotta be consistent. Chemicals are stronger, but you really have to be careful with them. Don't worry, we're gonna cover both. But hold on, before you even think about what to spray, you need to follow this 4-step emergency protocol. Step 1, isolate. Get that plant away from all your other plants, right now. Step 2, prune. If you see any leaves or stems that are just covered, chop them off. Get rid of them. It's a quick way to reduce their numbers. Step 3, clean. Scrape off the top inch or two of soil. Eggs could be in there, and give the pot and saucer a good wash. And finally, step 4, treat. Now we can talk about the toolkit. All right, for your organic toolkit, your #1 go-to is going to be 70% isopropyl alcohol. It just melts that waxy coating and kills them instantly. Insecticidal soap is another excellent choice. It's pretty gentle on most plants. Now, neem oil is great too, but think of it more as a long-term weapon that messes with their life cycle, not so much an instant knockdown. And hey, don't forget the simple stuff. Sometimes a powerful spray of water is all you need to just blast them off the plant. Okay, let's zero in on that alcohol spray because it's super effective. Here's a great recipe. Take 1 part of that 70% isopropyl alcohol and mix it with 3 parts water. Then add just a tiny drop of dish soap. That helps it cling to the bugs. But listen, this is so important. always test your spray on one single leaf first. Wait a full day. If the leaf looks fine, then you're good to go on the rest of the plant.
So, what if you've done all that and they still come back? Okay, this is when you might consider going chemical. Systemic granules are pretty interesting. You add them to the soil, the plant absorbs them, and its sap becomes poisonous to the mealybugs. It's like fighting them from the inside out. There are also topical sprays, but for real, with any of this stuff, you have to read the label carefully and be super cautious, especially if you're using it inside your home.
Okay, now we need to talk about the #1 mistake people make. This is where the battle is won or lost. You spray your plant, you think you've won, they're all gone, and then a few weeks later, poof, they're back. Let's get into why spraying just once is never, ever enough.
It's all about their life cycle. See, when you spray, you're killing the grown-ups and the teenagers, but you're not touching the eggs. They're all bundled up in those cottony sacks, totally protected from your spray. Then, a week or two later, bam, those eggs hatch into a whole new generation of crawlers. And that right there, when they're newly hatched and haven't built up their armor yet, that's when they're most vulnerable.
And just let this number sink in for a second. 600. That's roughly how many eggs a single female can lay. It's wild, right? It really shows you that if you miss even one of those little egg sacs, you're right back to square one with a huge new problem on your hands. So, this is it. This is the most crucial piece of advice I can give you. You're not just spraying once. You are starting a treatment plan. You have to be consistent. That means treating every single week for maybe 8 to 12 weeks. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's the only way to actually break their life cycle and get every single new generation as it hatches.
All right, so you've won the war. Your plant is clean, awesome. But how do you make sure they don't come back? It's all about prevention. Let's talk about your long-term defense strategy.
You know the saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? It's so true here. First, any new plant that comes into your house goes into quarantine. No exceptions. Keep it separate for at least 2 weeks. Second, make it a habit to inspect your plants every month or so. Really look in those hiding spots. Third, give them some breathing room. If their leaves are touching, that's just a bridge for pests to cross. Also, keep your pruning shears clean. And finally, the best defense is a good offense. A healthy, happy plant is way less likely to get pests in the first place.
So there you have it. You are now fully equipped with the knowledge and the strategy to take on the mealybug menace and protect your green friends. The only question is, what's your first move going to be? Are you going to start a quarantine station? Set a reminder for monthly inspections? The power is in your hands. Now go enjoy your plants.